Welcome to TokyoTalks, where unique creatives, entrepreneurs share real stories of their lives in business, culture, and identity. I'm your host, Ananya, and I'm really excited today to welcome Kemio, one of Japan's most famous creators for over a decade. He first blew up on Vine as a teenager and later moved to the US and has since built a global career across YouTube, fashion, and self-expression. And today, we're talking about that journey from growing up online in Japan to creating his life in New York and his own world, basically. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful introduction.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was so excited for today.
Oh.
I love your content. I've watched your content since I think I was in high school too. So crazy moment. Yeah. Probably like 2017.
2017.
So for a while.
Hi.
Yeah, so it's kind of
right,
insane.
because I think that's the time like right after I started posting a video and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you're the OG one. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's so rare to kind of have someone like you who kind of sees the world in like such a different lens.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm so excited to like learn about you
Thank you so much
and
for
share
having
that
me.
with the audience.
Yes.
I know that we talk a lot on this podcast about like business and stuff, and you fall into that category in a way that's so like amazing because the point of this podcast is to really just inspire people and tell them, hey, like this is a job, like these are jobs out there. Like if I knew that these were real jobs, I would have done it like earlier.
True.
Right?
Yes.
And you can carve your own path and you've done that yourself. So
that's really fun.
but
I don't really think like that. So like
really?
yeah, whenever like someone describe it like in a way that you just did, like it just like made me feel like wow.
Really?
Yes,
I'm
thank
so
you.
Happy.
That's
well,
really
I mean, I'm sure most people know you, but for anyone who
yes, of course.
doesn't, could you please do like a small intro?
Hey guys, well, my name is sorry. No, I just want to my name is Kemio, but I just wanted to say like I'm in Tokyo right now. I've been in here like more than like 2 weeks now. Mm-hmm. So I feel like my English, I haven't been able to like use my English because all my friends are like Japanese here. So like I haven't used like my English brain like for a while. So like I might gonna like struggle a little bit.
It's all good.
Be aware please. But thank you so much for having me. What I do is as she mentioned it, like I started social media, Vine, and I moved to TV industry, and I moved to the States when I was 20. And then it's crazy to think that like this year will mark like 10 years since
Wow.
It's insane. It's literally insane. But yeah, now like I do acting, modeling, write a book, podcast. Like I just do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And Kemio is my job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, being online for a decade is a lot and you're like sharing your life.
Yes.
But what were you like before all of that, before everything? Like when you were first growing up, like how did you grow up?
Well, so I grew up in Japan, in Tokyo. There's a town, I don't know if it's a town, but it's called Machida. It's like literally like some people think like it's Kanagawa.
It's still Tokyo.
It's still barely in Tokyo. Like people always like want to have the discussion about like, oh, it's not Tokyo, it's in Kanagawa.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's Tokyo. But I grew up in the town, city. And what was the question again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
like how did you grow up? Like your childhood? What was it like?
So I was raised by my mother's side of grandparents. So it was like a pretty like traditional, typical, like very conservative, but very lovely. And then growing up, like I always like loved, like when people pay attention to me. So I always do like dumb shit. And then, oh wait, is that okay?
It's fine. It's fine.
Hi. And then around like 9 or 8, I started like sending my really short resume to like all the agency company to like just make myself tap into like industry and stuff. And
that's interesting.
Oh my God, wait, I was not like this like English brain right now. It's bad.
Oh no, it's fine.
Really?
We can take our time.
But like 10 minutes or 15 minutes after, like I think I'm gonna be awake.
Definitely.
Yes.
And so like your childhood, you were raised by your grandparents.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that experience? Especially because they have more conservative values.
Yeah.
But your personality is you, right?
Yes.
And was there ever like a struggle there?
Honestly, not really.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
obviously, like they had like a lot of strict rule compared
I
to
see.
like other kids in the classmate. Like let's say like I was not allowed to have a like cell phone or
I see.
smartphone like until high school.
Oh,
Or
okay.
like I'm never allowed to do a sleepover at my friend's house until I graduated from high school.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. So those things, like I think I was pretty against to my grandma mostly. I was like, why I cannot do this? Like why I cannot go to these places like Disneyland, like all this stuff. Now like I'm looking back, like I'm like, I'm sorry. But other than that, like I had like a lot of thing that I wanted to do, but they are never like trying to change me.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like when I decided to like sending all the resume to the agency and stuff, like they never like that. They're just like let me do like
that's
whatever.
amazing.
And because I think they knew that like I'm not the type of person that like I'm gonna stop. Like at the end of the day, like I'm just gonna do me. So they were like, just do you.
Yeah.
But like just do you and then,
Yeah.
like don't do nothing like criminal stuff and then
But I guess in school though as well, like I you know, looking through like interviews and stuff, I realized so you were told that you were fully Japanese growing up.
Yes, that was a
that's
gag.
crazy.
That was a huge gag. Yes.
What you never questioned it at any point.
Yeah, I always did. So just to give
Crazy.
people context. So my parents passed away when I was 2. So my mother's side, as I mentioned earlier, my mother's side of grandparents raised me and my brother. So my mom is Japanese. My dad, he's half Persian and Italian.
Oh, I see.
So growing up, like my grandparents, they just like kept telling us like, you guys are full Japanese. Like full Japanese. And growing up, like I've never like guessed there. Like I was just like, I don't even think like it was a thing. I'm just like, I speak Japanese. I go to Japanese school, whatever. But then when I started going to elementary school, like people always like make me stop and ask me like you must be half something. Like you must be mixed. You know, like my hair is a little curly and my skin is like a little brown. My eyes are like, I don't know. I was not really, I didn't know like what exactly they were talking about. But yeah, I don't look, I guess like typical Japanese. But then every time when I come home and like ask my grandparents, like, oh, they told me like I must be like mixed, and then they were like, no, like straight up, they're like, you are full Japanese. So it's just like always back and forth, and then around like jugakko, like I started like realizing like the amount of question that I get. Like I'm like, girl, it must be something.
There's something wrong.
There's something going on. Like I'm just gonna let you have this right now, but like there must be something.
Yeah.
And then like after graduating from high school, we got into like a little argument, and she was like, I think you're old enough to like know the truth that like you are half Japanese. And then so now looking back, the beginning of my like Vine career, like when I started, like I used to do a lot of Tsuikast, which is like a Japanese live stream platform. I used to go on and like do a live stream after school and stuff. I used to like tell the audience like, because I also get the question a lot in the comment section. Like I always like tell them like I'm full Japanese. So after they confessed me the fact that I'm half Japanese, there was like a little era or moment that I had to like reintroduction myself to the audience. Be like, actually, I just found out the gag is I am half Japanese. Yeah.
And people were just like, wait, which one are you? Like, they had trouble.
Yeah.
But you were also like, wait, is this like, what do I even believe at this point?
Yeah.
You know?
But I think like I honestly like knew it a little bit. So like when they told me, I was like, conform, click. That's it.
I see. You were like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. I was like more so thinking like, oh shit, like I already started my career and I already like told my audience that I'm like I don't want to lie. So like now I have to. Yeah. But it was like nothing crazy. Yeah. People be like, oh, we knew it.
That makes sense. They're like, we were trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whoa. And then you were already doing Vine at that point.
I was, yeah.
And was it just like a spur of the moment thing, or were you like, oh, I think I can make this into a career?
Right. I was honestly like I'm honestly like even still now, like I think about like how far I've got here from Vine. It's crazy to me because I that's not the main reason why I started. The main reason why I started like posting like meme and stuff online, because all the like resume that I sent it to all the agency, like everything was just like decline.
Really?
Yeah, so I was just like, so what am I gonna do? And then the more I get closer to graduate from high school, I was like, I need to figure out like before I finish my high school. Then I had a like phone, and then like I always like influenced by like Western culture, and then like that time like Vine was not even thing here, but then over there it was such a big thing. Like what's his name, Cameron Diaz, or
so many people.
And I think I was a little early to kata.
Yeah.
And I started doing it, and then it turned it into like, what am I doing right now? So it's just like so grateful and like crazy to me, like how. Yeah.
And so I guess Vine happened. You started making content on there.
Yes.
But I guess you went down various paths from there. What were you specifically trying to go into like the agency world at that point? Or like when did you kind of go towards YouTube? I guess that's kind of where I always didn't know your background.
I started YouTube. Well, I made an account specifically right before I moved to the States. So that was 2015, 2016. And then after I moved to the States, like I was not be able to like, you know, go to work or TV and stuff like this. But I was like thinking like, I need to do something. Like I cannot just like, you know, I also have to pay the bills and everything. So I was like, I need to figure out. So then like that time, like Vine already shut down. So I started YouTube and then posting it constantly about my life in the States.
How did you make the jump to the States all of a sudden too?
Like moving to the States?
Yeah, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. Wait, yes.
Like, I guess you did Vine, you graduated high school.
Yeah.
What was the moment that you're like, I'm going to
like,
leave Japan?
I think I always thought that like I would move other country at some point in my life, because since I'm mixed, like I always wanted to live in the country or like community where like so much diversity and everything. But then after graduating from high school, I started working in Japanese TV industry. And that's the time that I was just like very struggle. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
That sounds so...
Yeah.
I mean, I
had a great time though, but it's just like, I was just not good at it, I have to say. It's just like, I was not good at it, because if you think about it, like social media job, like you're the boss. Like you can edit yourself, like you can edit out, like when you go on the live, like you can manage like, oh, which comment that I'm gonna read or like talk about it. Like it's just like, yeah, you're the performer.
Right.
But then when I tap into the TV industry, that was different. There's a script, and then also there was other people on the same set, and then like everybody speaking at the same time. That was like a little bit competition. And then like my agent that time was like telling me like, oh, they were telling me like, we want you to be like this way, like we want to sell you like this personality, like not that like whatever the direction that you're thinking in your brain, like this way. So it was just like a lot of like new, how do I say it? Not control.
It is kind of like control. Yeah.
And I was just like so confused. I was just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But then the more I do TV job, like I was just like not, I guess like funny, like what people expect, like what people are known for on the TV show.
Right.
So people are like, what is going on? Like he's not funny. He was funny in the Vine, but then like when he's on the TV show, he's very shy. He's not talkative. He's just like very careful or
Are you allowed to talk about what they were kind of putting you into, like box-wise versus what you were? Yeah. What was that? What were they trying to make you seem like?
Well, so I think a lot of the time when I was on the TV show, I got casted as like young, like, you know, not dumb, but like, you know, say whatever, like, you know.
Something random.
I think that's what they needed. Like, you know.
Yeah.
That's very like a typical, you know, like when you see the like variety TV show on Japan, like there's like a age categories, like sometime.
No, I see
like
it.
a lot
There's
of diversity,
blend.
and then like everybody say like completely different opinions, and then like that's the fun part. And I think that's the also main reason why I got casted by a lot of TV shows and stuff like this. But then I think my manager that time like she wanted to be like more smart. Like she wanted to act more like, yes, like, you know, I come from internet. Nobody knows, like, it was not even a thing. So like everybody have no clue. And I guess I'm funny. Like I say dumb shit, whatever. But like I actually like, I talk about political.
Yeah.
Or like I think that was the direction they want me to do it.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I think they want me to kind of like shocks people. Like I look like this, I present myself like this, but deep down, like I'm more like deeper than like just being funny on the social media present. Yes.
But that didn't really resonate with your audience. And you either. Yeah.
More so like I think as earlier I say like I was not good at it. I think I was just confused. I was just like overwhelmed. I was just like every day so overwhelmed. Like I'm like, what am I gonna listen? My manager told me this, and then like when I talked to the producer told me like just like be natural, just like say like whatever comes to your mind first. And I'm like, but then like oh shit, like my manager was telling me like I should think more before I speak my mind. And I was like, but then like deep down like I know what's happening here. Like I think they want me to like be fresh and young and like just say whatever and like comes to my mind, like this is what I think. So yeah, there was like a little difference that really made me feel overwhelmed, and then I end up like not being fucking funny.
And then you were like no more TV at that point after
and then like right before 20, well the more I do the job on TV show, like I was like losing a lot of followers on Twitter because I was completely over like posting or anything.
Oh, because you're so busy with this other stuff.
Yeah, and also on top of that, that was a time that like my agent was like telling me like you have to post like certain amount of time, like twice a day or whatever. And I think like I started this because I like it, but that was the time that something that I started, something that was for me turning into was not for me anymore. My like it's just like someone else, and like I have no control over anymore. I built this, but then like a lot of people's control or like energy involved, and I'm like I don't know if I can do this. And then after I worked like 2 years my ass off in the industry, like I made like a money. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can just like stay like living in Tokyo. But then I was like, oh wait, but like I always influenced by like Western culture, and then like maybe like this could be a good time for me to like not take a break because I was like literally 20, but like I think like I don't have a lot of responsibility right now. And then I was like I'm so grateful like I have a social media platform, so even when I moved to the States, like I still be able to connect with my agent. I mean not agent, audience. I was like woo. But
oh,
sorry, I talked so much.
No, that was so interesting because I mean I've been in Japan for 3 years now, and TV is
3 years.
Yeah, like pretty
3
recently.
years and you speak.
Yeah, no, I mean I've been studying for like over 10 years on my own.
But still,
before coming here, but no, not at all. But like I've had the opportunity to also start being on TV in Japan, and it's completely different from content. Like people are very nice, and it's like I love it, but at the same time you get no control over who you are. You have to fit a certain category every single time, and I also don't like being put in a box. And so I think a lot of creators like struggle with that because it's like if you put yourself in an agency, you don't have as much control over your message and who you are, and it's tough because this job is kind of like you have to have fun while doing it. Like it needs to not also be a job in order for it to like keep going. And so like I think so many people struggle with that, and I think for me at least, I'm like I always want to make sure that I'm just enjoying what I'm making and I'm proud of it, and then just keep going. Like things will change. I might hate it for a while, but that's okay. It's just like a constant thing, and the fact that you've been able to do that for so long, and like also it's surprising because you have such a huge audience that loves you, but you've been through that period where it's like people are like, oh, like what is he doing? Like you know what I mean? Like everyone kind of goes through those periods, I feel like. So that's kind of wild that you made that jump to the US like at that time too, right? What were your thoughts at that moment? You come to the US, you're living in a completely new space, and could you like communicate? Did you have trouble communicating English wise at the time?
Yeah, for English, yes. I could not speak English.
Mm.
I was in the language school for about
Oh,
2
I
years
see.
in
Oh,
LA.
wow.
And in language school, like before
Mhm.
you started in the beginning, you have to take a class. That way, like they'll like put you in the like
Oh, I see, I
right
see. Yeah, yeah,
level.
yeah.
I was like a level 1. I literally started ABCD one, like 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Yeah.
And then you're also living in America at the same time, so you have to
Yeah.
like use English, which is so stressful.
But it was so exciting.
Oh, that's
It was
good.
so
Oh,
exciting. Like now,
yeah.
even like, now, because I moved to the States 2016.
Okay.
And like, since like
2016.
everybody this year talking about like 2026 is the new 2016.
16, that's
So I was
crazy.
like, like last week or whatever, I was like looking on my camera roll and then looking over the picture, like when I
Great.
moved to the
Yeah.
LA, I was just like, oh my God, that was such a like fun time.
Aw.
Yeah.
What a time. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, you were taking such a big risk but you were making YouTube videos
Yes.
in that process.
Yeah.
In your mind, were you like, okay, maybe this is like my way of growing now that Vine is all gone?
Yeah.
It's like, how did that feel, by the way, to have something that you built for so long suddenly just like disappear?
I was like, thank God.
Oh, really?
I was like, thank God. I needed to go. Like, wrap shit up.
Oh, really? You were
Yeah.
done with it at the point.
Respectfully, though.
I mean, Vine's not here.
But
so.
you know what's funny? Like, once in a life, wait, how do I say? Like, once in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime, like, tamani?
Oh.
Like, do you see, like, article on the internet, like, saying that, like, oh, they might bring back buying?
Kind of, yeah, I see.
You know,
every,
like,
now
sometime,
and then.
sometime, like,
yeah.
once in a year or sometime, like, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's true or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But every time, like, when the rumor, I guess, going
Yeah.
around on the internet, like, I get so many message from my audience, be
Really?
like, they're saying the buying is like coming back. Like, I wonder, like, if you're gonna go back. No, girl. No, girl.
You're like,
Some
don't
things-
resurrect
yeah.
her. Oh my God.
Sometimes, like, not everything has to, like, we should like keep it that way it was, and like that was it.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
She doesn't need to come back.
No.
Okay. Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, thank God.
And you were like, okay, YouTube's the next.
But also, if you really think about it, 6 seconds, that was hard.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yes.
6 seconds. Even I'm like, like sometimes there would be proper stories.
Yeah.
In one little 6-second video.
Yes.
I'm like, how did that work?
No, it's crazy. Do you know Mezamashi TV show? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Fuji TV.
The Japanese like news.
Yeah,
TV?
news TV show. It's like legendary. Like yeah, they be running
Oh,
the show
wow.
like since I was like 7, 6.
Oh,
I think
wow.
way before.
Okay.
But like when my Vine went viral, I got my segment, Mezamashi TV show.
You were on the show?
Every Monday to Friday, they asked me to create like a little Vine to like encourage people in the morning.
What?
I know, it was
That's
crazy.
wild.
It's so crazy and it's so grateful.
Wow.
But it was hard as fuck. Like
It must
6
be.
seconds. And then like, it's TV, so there's so many rules.
Oh yeah.
So I cannot just like, be so it's like so many back and forth. And then sometimes, yeah, like most of the time, like I couldn't deliver like on time. Like it was just like
Yeah.
3 a.m. 4 a.m. and like
Jesus.
with me and my agent just back and forth. I made a Vine and sent it to them. They sent it to the TV show. They said like, oh, this might be like, needs to be like a little bit, tone it down or whatever. But yeah, crazy time. Crazy time.
But I mean, having that every single day, turning in something every single day,
Yeah.
and in Japan especially when there's just so many like back and forth, like
Yes.
fix this, fix that.
Yes.
It's like
And it's 6 seconds.
crazy.
Yes.
You can't even like retake it in
Yeah.
a way that's the same as the first
Yeah.
video you filmed. Like that's
That
crazy.
really trained me. I think
Actually,
when I
yeah,
speak
huh.
Japanese, like I speak so fast. I think I always like wonder like where they come from because I was not born with it. But then I guess like I used to tell everything what I needed to say
Mhm.
in 6 seconds. So I think that's where it come from.
What? Whoa, that's kind of an insane skill
Tabo.
to have.
Hi.
Whoa.
No, you can do
And
it.
through 6
Hi.
seconds, I mean,
Yes.
if Vine comes back.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
wow. And then going from such a short platform to YouTube now, did you feel like it was difficult to grow on YouTube, or did you feel like it's very natural to you?
I was having fun.
Oh, Yeah. You were just enjoying it.
Yeah, I was not
That's
enjoying it.
amazing.
I was like not even thinking like, oh, I have to hit the million followers or anything.
Wow.
I literally was also like bored as fuck. Like the school that I was in was like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So pretty
I
much
see.
the rest of the day, like you
Yeah.
got nothing to do. And I didn't have a friends or anything like
Yeah.
this. So I was just like, what am I gonna do? So I just like started capturing my daily life in
Wow.
the States, and then it was so fun.
And
And,
then it just slowly started growing
Yes.
even more.
And then like people just like coming back like from the Vine, like they thought like this bitch is not funny anymore. They're like, oh, she is funny again.
She's back.
Yeah.
And all these people come watch your content.
Yeah.
And it just grows and grows at that point where you're like, okay, I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber. Was there ever that thought? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yes. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And then
I think like it was just like a platform for me to I always wanted to be a star.
Yeah.
I just wanted
that's
to be
true.
a
You've
star.
always said that.
I always wanted to be a star. I still am and then I think it was just like but then I knew early on my like audition moment. I always knew like I'm the type of person I think I have to like make opportunity for myself to like get where I want to get. So I think for you too, I think I just like, okay, this platform maybe like can make me go where I want to go. Like
it could be like my golden ticket to getting to whatever it is that I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm with it.
That's amazing.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. And
it worked.
Yeah, it really did. And even with like moving to America and everything too, like I really liked what you said in a recent video where it was like you were saying how when we think about like doing something big in our lives, like whether it's like studying abroad or like going to another country, like we think like
thanks for watching. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean I love your content, but it's like I totally related to it because it's like once you start thinking about taking a risk and you keep thinking about it without doing anything, it slowly becomes this like huge thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, do I have enough money? Like maybe I need a couple months to prepare for this, all these things. And then you won't end up doing it. But the better thing you said is to just like go ahead and do it. And you'll realize it's actually not that big of a deal.
No.
Right?
As long as like, you're alive, you live.
Honestly, yeah. And even now, I'm like, oh my God, how did I just like suddenly just show up in Japan? I don't have any.
Exactly. In 3 years.
You know?
And now we have a show in Japan.
Yeah. And it's like, I was
That's
like,
amazing.
oh my God, like thank God I did that like back then when I wasn't even thinking about
anything. And also I feel like when you do something finally, like something that you've been thinking about it for a long time and you finally did it, like don't you always like think like, wait, that was like easier than I thought like it would be. Yeah.
Like I've spent months thinking
like,
about
like this I should have done it like sooner.
Yeah, that's so true. Is there anything for you right now that you're like, oh my God, I really want to do this, but like I haven't been able to yet? That might be a hard question.
Honestly, no. Because like I do. I always do it. Yeah, I always
Hell
do
yeah.
it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a great answer.
Yeah. I don't want like this sounds to be like hey like you know I like I'm perfect, I do everything. But I always like trying to find a way to like get where I want to go. Or like I want to like trying to find a way to like get what I want. I think but personal life there's a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah, I always like push everything back.
Oh,
Cooking, cleaning, investing, like savings, everything is always to the left.
Like for now it's like whatever I'm doing right now, work.
Yeah, work wise.
Damn.
Yeah. Because it's crazy. I'm 30 now. I'm not saying like it's young. I hate like when once people hit like 30, they act like 60s. Like, girl, you're young.
Yes, 30 is like super young the more I realize it.
But then like I think I have a like a better view. I mean, like, how do I say? Like I can see things like more clearly. I'm
jealous. I'm like 26 right now, and it's like I'm always like, what the fuck am I doing? But figuring it out, you know.
No, you're doing great. But I remember the time like 26, 27, like I hated that era because I was like, Whenever like I introduce myself, people ask me like how old I am. I'm like 27. They're like, oh, okay. Like they don't even say like, oh, you're young, or like, like whatever. Like I'm like, I want to grow up so bad, but then I'm stuck here. You know, once like you hit 30, like you're like fresh, whatever.
Oh, I love that.
And also like around like 26, 27, 28, like I think like, you know, the people that you're surrounding are like very changing. Like, you know, people get married, people prioritize, like, this is my prioritize in life now. Work, family, whatever.
Everyone is different.
And like all the friends that like you used to see them like all the time, like you might, you know, don't get to see them anymore, like often and stuff like this. But
did you feel like your 26, 27 period, would you say like you struggled like mentally in any way at that point in your life? Or really?
Yeah.
Is it because of career? Because I mean, your career was like probably taking off.
Yeah.
Especially around that time.
Yes. I think 2019 was like so popping, like not popping, but yeah, it was very fun. I did like 26 back and forth from LA and Tokyo.
In 1 year.
Yeah, and then I got GQ Man of the Year, and I was like,
hey! Oh my God!
But yeah, it was so amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So amazing.
And so you would say that that was like your peak. You're like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I think that was like my big like round 2 comeback.
Yeah.
Hit Vine first and then YouTube. Like,
Like regardless of the platform, like you're able to like continuously to pop back, you know?
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
That's so important. Yeah. I think for creators in general, it's like whatever platform changes or whatever, it's like you want to still be able to make stuff people enjoy and like, you know, like to watch.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that like, you know, like I don't base here anymore, but then like people like still watch my content, and also the clients, or you know, like people like want to work with me even though like, you know, I don't live here. They want to fly me out, like you know, that's just like so insane. Like insane. Like they see me, how do I say it? Like not value, but like they see me something in me that like, you know, like we'll cover the like accommodation, but you know, but we still want to work with you. Like that's like honestly insane to me.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people like do the similar stuff and like have a more like, I guess like followers or impact. But then like, you know, there's a still client like, you know, pitch me to like work with me, and that's just like so insane to me, and I'm so grateful.
Congrats too. That's wild.
Thank you so much.
And so like, when did you go from LA to New York?
2019, right before COVID.
Really?
Yes.
So you've been in New York for way longer than I thought. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 6 years.
Wow.
Yes.
What made you decide to jump?
It was just a time. I always wanted to move to New York, but then when I moved to LA that time, like I was broke as fuck. So, you know, I don't know right now, but like that time compared to like life in LA and in New York, LA is like a little bit affordable.
Back then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember the time like Uber was like $2, $3 and like
there was a time where
it gets you to LAX? Yeah. That was a time. Yeah. And also the currency was like not as bad as like current like situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then it was much closer doing the back and forth from LA to Tokyo was like much closer than New York to Tokyo. So I moved to LA 3 years, and I met my best friend, and he always wanted to move to New York. I wanted to move to New York as well, but then he finished his college and he was like, I'm gonna move to New York. And that time we were like roommate.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, if you're gonna move to New York, I don't have a lot like friends here. Like, I'm gonna go with you.
Aww, yeah.
And then I end up like moving to New York at the same time with him, and then we found an apartment together, and then we moved in together, and then it was just like a right time. And then I started working a lot in Tokyo again. So I was just like constantly traveling. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, especially Japan and New York or LA, it's so different, like the culture overall.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like any culture shock, like even to this day, like living in the States?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you fit in better in either country or?
Right. I think, how do I say 日本のルールは日本でしか通じない? How do I say that?
日本のルール、なんだろう?
Like the mentality that like are like Japanese, I think a lot, how do I say it? Like Japanese mentality only. How do I say it?
Japanese rules are so specific, and so they're only in Japan.
Yeah, like
guess.
yeah. I guess like it applies to like every country. Like where you, I think as soon as like you leave your own country and like go to somewhere, like the rule or like perspective that you have, like it's not gonna apply to the environment. Like you have to switch it up. I think that's the huge struggle that I had like when I moved to LA. Like the way the friends in the States like communicate with people.
Right.
Like sometime, mental health is like or self-care is very major. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Correct word?
It's huge. Yeah.
Okay, huge. So, just a little example, like I was like supposed to hang out with my friends and then my friend texts me like, sorry, I'm not really in the mood. Like I have to take care of myself. Yeah. And I was like, damn bitch, like what a irresponsible, like
that's
but then that was just like my Japanese side of me, because in Japan when you bail or something or when you have to reschedule, you have to give them like full ass sentence, like the reason why you're canceling this and like
why
I'm
you're
available.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then also like you have to give them like, oh, next week I'm available this day and that and this day. Like you have
I don't do that.
Okay. No. It's very toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but these things I was just like step by step. I had to learn it. Like I cannot just be like, oh, maybe why this person is like acting this way. They don't like me. Like I had to like completely disconnect myself the part where like my Japanese side or like how I view things in perspective. So
I mean the way that you make friends there is like you're so like through your YouTube videos you see like you're involved with people, like you've learned English like through these interactions and stuff, which I think is so good, first of all, for language learning. Like that's definitely how I tried to learn as well. But, it's like you're dealing with so many different cultural things that come with that language too. And I totally, like, the minute I came to Japan, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm like way more American than I thought.
Oh, really?
In America, I'd be like kind of shy. I'd be like quiet. I don't stand out. So I was like, oh my God, like, I must fit in so well in Japan. Like, and then I come here and I'm like, oh, like, I like to say my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, I like to be, like, blunt.
Yeah.
And, when I speak Japanese, sometimes people are like, oh my God, that was aggressive. Like, I didn't know. Like,
No, I can relate to that. Like, I was, like, thinking opposite. Like, when I was living in Japan, I felt like, I'm not Japanese. Like, my mentality is, like, very open. I'm loud. Like, I speak my mind. But then when I moved to the States, I was like, wait, maybe I'm, like, very Japanese. Like, when I'm surrounded by, like, a completely different culture and like I was just like, wow. So like I can relate to that. Yeah,
and the way people make friends back home is like so different too. It's like you relate to each other on something deep, and then I don't know, like here it's like, oh wow, we're the same age, like let's get along. You know what I mean?
Quick.
Not always, but you know what I mean, like that's definitely like a thing. Which is so like such a big cultural difference. But go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No, I mean, like, speaking of culture, that's also the one thing that I was just like, whoa. I did not nothing about Japan. Like, I did not nothing about Japan. I think when I moved to LA is like, as everybody know, like, there's so many culture, people, background. So people constantly asking me like, oh, you're from Japan. Like, what's the like, anything like, matcha like I don't know, but like history like or anything like what's the like tempo this and that and this. I was like, I have no idea. And then I just realized like people in LA, I guess in the States as well, like they know like where they come from, like they know their culture. But then I was just like, maybe in Japan that time when I was living in Japan, like I pretty much interact with like, Japanese people growing up. So like we don't ask ourselves like a question like what is this and what is that? And then these things are like, make people like educate themselves or, their culture. I think that's what's happening. That was like, realization that I had when I was living in LA, because people constantly asking them each other like, what is this food? Like, anything. And then like, they're like, oh, this and that and this. But I didn't have that. So I never like had to learn it. I just like always like took it for granted. Like, 当たり前だと思ってた.
I mean, Japan's culture is also so deep that like the amount that you guys know is still like probably longer than America's history.
Yes.
But, right? But yeah. But there's that. But also like I totally get it because like I mean my family immigrated to America with me from India, and I'm South Indian. I speak the language, but I've never lived there. I never grew up there, and so I always felt uncomfortable with my background, my culture, because people didn't get it. Yeah. Right. And then my friends, like I met them, and they're my best friends, but they're all like Indian background, a lot of them, and then they're like, girl, that's not how you pronounce your name. And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? And after a while, they like taught me more about my own culture, where I felt comfortable showing up and, feeling like, okay, yeah, I own this. And yeah, like,
totally.
But it takes a lot of time and like searching with like your identity and like who you are. It feels like a long process. Yeah. Do you feel like that's changed for you, especially living in America, right? I
think like I hated it when I was living in Japan. I just really? Everything was like against me. That's how I thought. Like very immature. I mean, I was young. Like I was just like everything is just keep against me. Like they don't get it. Like I was just like, I always like complain about like environment or other people. But then when I moved to the new environment, I did not know nobody. So like I had so much time to like ask myself a question, like, and then like that really changed me. So it was very blessing and a lesson. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, even a year ago, I was thinking the same way. I was like, no one gets it. Like,
yeah.
It's like so immature. I get it. But,
No, we all need those moments though.
We all need it to
we
like humble
all
us.
need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
then
need
be
it.
like, oh shit. Like, I guess I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then like now, I think it's really important to like leave. Like go on travel and like look back to your own country.
So true.
And you get the different perspective. Yeah.
So
it's not like you have to move out, but like it's just like always important to like look at your country from the outside.
Definitely.
That way like you appreciate it more and like
Do you feel like people in America, like how do they think about Japan nowadays? Like do they ask you questions?
Cheap as fuck.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
No, it's true though. Everyone's saying it.
I don't know. Well, my best friend example, like he stopped asking me a question about Japan to me because like I don't know much about it.
Right, because you're
to my defense, I moved to LA like when I was 20, and I think that's the time like you discover like bars and the restaurant and like clothing store and like everything. But then I was not here.
Right.
I was already in it. I started that in the States. So every time when my friends like travel here, like they always ask me like, what's your recommendation? I'm like, oh shit, I have nothing on my saves. Yeah. But wait, what was
do they ask you about like what's popular to people in New York right now about Japan?
I think it's just aesthetic, matcha, sushi, zen.
Do you like that, or do you feel like it's a little bit like misinterpreted?
I think it depends. Like some people like really do appreciate it, like the culture, and like they come here and like very export and like but then other people like might like travel because it's a trend right now and like it's cheap and like like you get so much like for like I guess 円安だからなんか安くYeah,
that's true. The yen, exchange rate has like totally changed everything. Like when I came here, like just a couple months after, suddenly everyone showed up. Like I saw people from my high school hitting me up and be like, "Hey, I'm in Japan." Like we haven't spoken in like 8 years. Like you know what I mean? Like everyone was here. It was crazy.
Yeah. Even like every time I do a lot of back and forth in New York and here, like every time when I land in Haneda, I'm always so overwhelmed by like so many tourists. And then like I always think about like even just like me land here and then go through the custom and like pick up my luggage, I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Like imagine like people work here like every day. Like I'm just like, there's so many language like
So
constantly
much.
they hear in their ears. Like it's just like so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
it depends. You know,
Yeah.
it's wonderful that like, you know, people love and travel here. But then, you know, I think a lot of people here are also like frustrated by, you know, that too.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but that has like changed a lot of how people perceive, you know, other cultures and stuff. So I mean, it's the first time we've had this many people all here at once. So it's like naturally
And
that would happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sakura season is coming
Oh
up.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yes.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. But I get it. Like, yeah, not I get it, but you know,
Yeah.
like since like we have a lot of we are having like over tourism, you know, a lot of hotels, because I usually stay at the hotel when I travel here. The price is like so high, even like not even like a luxury 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
It's like 5万円とかa
Oh my
night.
God.
Because I think they trying to like, you know, match with the like a currency
Global
so like I'm sure Kyoto is like way more like
Oh yeah.
I think Japanese cannot do like domestic travel even because like every like Niseko or anywhere like it's so expensive.
So expensive.
Like I heard like when I got here this time, like I was in taxi and the driver was telling me like all the food at Tsukiji is like double up because enyasu, and then like, you know,
it's like known as a tourist trap now.
Yeah.
But I don't think Japan really had many tourist traps before this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like double the price is like crazy. Like
I
regular
know.
people just can't
Yeah.
go and have fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sucka. That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
Damn. And even New York too is like crazy expensive to live
Oh
in,
my
so,
God,
like,
yeah.
overall,
People like think like I make a lot of money. I do, not a lot, but yeah, everything just like needs to like rent and everything.
It's a lot. It adds up.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Anyway, I kind of want to step back a little bit to what you were saying earlier.
Yes.
I mean, I talk a lot about like language learning on my platforms because I've, you know, studied Japanese for so long. I don't actively do it as much now, but it's like I hear it every day. No.
You don't need to. You're fluent. You don't need to.
Thanks.
You don't.
But how about like, did you have any like study methods? I'm curious, especially for people trying to learn English. Like,
oh yes.
How did you learn English?
I just like went on a date every single fucking night. Not every single night, but
smart.
I just like keep swipe much. And, yeah, I just like meet, and then go to gay bars, and then they're all drunk, and then like they are down to speak with someone who speaks like broken language. Is that even like okay to say broken language?
Broken English.
Broken English. Sorry. That's what people used to call me. But I was like, oh my God, it's so fun.
Because you get like hours with them for free.
Yeah. And they don't remember next day. Easy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And sometimes like they give me a drink for free. And I'm like,
even better.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't really study in language school.
I assumed you learned through like Miles or like, you know.
Yeah, he helped me a lot, especially homework. He did everything. We didn't have a chat GPT, so
that's true.
Someone had to do it, and that was Miles. Thank you, Miles.
And so you just learned through dates. That's kind of genius.
Yeah, I just like not mostly like a date. I'm not all the time, but like I was trying to learn English from like people, not from the textbook, because a lot of the time, like, you know, the sentence or like the way a term that you learn on the textbook, it's just like only people don't really use it in the real time. So I was just like constantly like trying to meet people, like sliding into a DM photographer and like ask me to hang out and get a photo, because at the time I was also going to a lot of open calls for a model agency, so I needed to build my photo book. So I was just like I was like, let's hang out. Yeah.
And it's like there's something else going on, like maybe photography or a date, but at the same time you're getting to talk with this person one-on-one, and it's not like a language eikaiwa, you know, kind of thing. It's like you're there and you're working.
Yes.
That's so smart.
My brain was like glitching, literally, like overstimulated. I'm like, I don't know the vocabulary. Yeah.
It's so stressful, but that's how I learned Japanese too, because I didn't want to use textbooks. I was
Yeah.
using Vine
Oh,
to
really?
learn Japanese. Yeah.
No way.
Like all the top Japanese Vine people. I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't always speak
Yes.
Japanese, but you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
use that, YouTube, like Nico Nico Namahoso, if you know what that is.
Ah,
That's
see?
just how I would just keep learning.
Yeah. People always find like, you
Yeah.
know, because it doesn't apply to everybody, you know.
Mm.
Like, yeah, you always have to find like, you know, a way for your way.
Otherwise, yeah, no, literally, because
anime とか.
everyone's different.
Yes.
And it's like you can't expect it to work for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
was
then
so fun.
there you go. Now you're like fluent in English. Like it's kind of insane.
It's
to see your
not.
growth.
No, I feel like I feel like I
wild.
have to go back to school or like I have to start reading a
Really?
book.
I don't think
No,
so.
I need to build like vocabulary because no, it really do. Like I talk like kids.
I mean, that's not
Like.
It's me too. But I mean, I talk about this as well, but like I didn't care as much about vocabulary when I was learning Japanese because I was like, I don't care. I just want to sound like joshikosei.
Yeah.
I want to sound like yaru. I want to sound like this.
Oh.
I don't care if I don't sound really, really smart when I speak Japanese. That's fine. Now I came here, I'm like, oh my God, I have to do keigo. Like I don't, you know, it's so hard. But up until then, I was like, Kansai ben joshikosei mitaina.
Oh.
Like, which is like a Kansai dialect Japanese high school girl like speech. And I loved it. It sounded so cool.
But that's so impressive that like
thank you.
You can pick up with like other accent like in Japanese and like slang.
I mean, you kind of do that too.
Impressive. That's crazy.
It's like the people around you really will change how you speak, right? And I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, like this year is gonna be marked like 10 years since I moved to the States. So you know, sometimes like people ask me like, oh my God, you do speak really great English. Like how long have you been living here?
Yeah.
And like I always like think like I always tell them like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. And then like they're like, that's so impressive. 2 years and you get here. I'm like, yes.
So good.
Because like if I say 10 years, they're like, they expect more. They're like, oh, 10 years. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you've been here 10 years. Like,
funny.
Yeah. So I just lie.
That's so smart, actually. Because I mean, the first question people ask me too when I start speaking Japanese, they're like, how long have you been in Japan? And right now it's 3 years. So they're very surprised. But then I thought about it and I was like, oh, like if I live here for a decade, they won't be surprised anymore. Yeah. They'll just think I automatically got it because I live here.
Like they're like, obviously.
I'm like, that's not how it works. It's really hard to learn a language. You don't just pick it up. You have to like try.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe I should lie.
Yeah, they always surprise.
That's so funny. Yes. Wow.
Let them wonder.
Yeah, let them wonder.
Yeah, let them wonder.
Wow. And so do you feel like you have that community now in America?
Yeah, in New York, yes.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's so important. Yeah.
I know. I love New York. I think I love New York. Yeah. So nice. And I'm just so happy to like someone that celebrate my birthday and like friends. Yeah. It's just so amazing.
And even like you've spoken about this previously, but like do you feel like Japan also has like New York has a big community, like a gay community as well? Like there's so much diversity. Do you see that happening in Japan as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except the government. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The government's not as, there's not as much of that. But like in the media, for example, I feel like there's like a huge, like Netflix shows coming out.
Yeah, and it's popular too.
So popular.
Yeah, I think that's why they keep like producing it. Yes.
So, I mean, I'm hoping that there's like more change and more diversity.
Yeah. But like there's like so many like works that needs to be done. And then, there's like, a lot of people like who struggle, to allow them to be who they are in the public. Like I have a privilege, like, I think like this is my privilege. Like, I can be like, I'm gay as fuck. But then like, because like, I do personality and like, social media, but like, daily basis, there's so many people struggle with their identity and like, if they come out as a gay, like they get discriminated, they might get fired or like they might lose their friends and like they always have to face the fear every single day. So, it's really important to like, keep pushing it and like, because I noticed like when I moved to LA, like first thing I noticed is like 2 guys is like carrying a baby. That's crazy. Because
Like,
I've never
all the
seen
time,
that
yeah.
besides the movie and stuff like this. And I was just like, that's the reality here. Because, once the same-sex marriage was legalized, like, people started showing no, you started like seeing that in the like real lifetime, and then like your brain is like, okay, this is like, I guess like a new normal. I don't know. Yeah. So like it's really important. Like they always like say some bullshit to like not legalize it here, but like,
really?
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
そっか. I mean, I used to live in like basically Castro Street in San Francisco, so like those like it was just like the most normal thing ever.
Yeah.
If anything, like I was the minority in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, going from there to moving here, I was just like, oh my god, it's like still not legalized here?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like that's awful.
Yeah, this like not this, but Prime Minister, like she's like, we're not gonna accept.
Yeah, just with like everything. She's like, nope.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting time.
Yeah.
But you feel like going forward, are you gonna continue to be living in New York and like go back and forth? Like,
that's a big question. That's so hard. But
I guess I assumed you would be like, yes.
New York?
Yeah.
Yes, I do want to.
Yeah.
I do want to. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also like, you never know, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of your work, because you do a lot of fashion as well. And do you feel like that's mainly, I mean, you globally, right?
Yes.
How does that kind of fit into your life as well?
Wait, one more time.
Like, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I was
know,
like
a
freeze. No,
question.
that was not you.
Yeah.
I was just like thinking about like the previous question. I was like, do I really want to live in New York?
Oh, yeah. Wait,
no, I do. I really do. I love New York so much. Like that city like really taught me like who I am today. Like if I didn't decided to move to the States in general, like I'm not here. But I think the more I get older, like I started thinking about more life, like quality life, realistically. Like I think when I was younger, I just like prioritize like anything that makes me excited.
Right.
Like, biking or like hang out, like do whatever, like exciting. But then now I'm 30, like, I have to go to dentist, like sometimes like my back hurts or, stuff like this. Then like, I don't have an insurance over there. Also the like rent, it's so expensive, and a grocery and like restaurant, like, So that perspective, like I just like, I always like have this like a question or like conversation with myself, like, Japan is cheaper and like, but then like I don't want to decide where I based on that. So it's just like always struggle. Like I want to live in New York. Yeah. But then like I started like, there's like a new part of me like jump on, and I'm like,
because it's like more practical.
Yeah.
Practical Kemio, and you're like, well, this would be nice too.
Yeah. So I just gotta keep working and live in New York.
Eventually, you'll kind of figure that out.
Yeah. Slowly. But I wanna center myself in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I mean, I also feel like going back and forth between the States and Japan is like.
Yeah. What about you?
I like that I'm in Japan now, and I think being excited, like I think I have to do something here.
Yeah.
And I think I want to like push and keep staying here until I can like find that like self-actualization, I guess.
Yes.
And like do something of, I don't know, value or like help people, or I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But like I've dedicated a decade of my life to Japanese.
Yes.
And then now I'm here, and it's like, it's not all perfect. I'm like learning every day.
Yeah.
So I like to go back home to like remind myself of like just my family, my friends.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think it was harder than I thought.
Yeah.
But I love it here too. So
yeah. But that's real as fuck. Like I want to add like also one thing, like what I said before. I think like I started like this social media job, like my whole life is like always like on the internet. So I constantly think even like in real like my actual life, like I always like do something, and like I always like think like if I do this, like I need to have an explanation, You know, like I cannot just like I should not just do it because I want to do it. Like I always like constantly think like I need an explanation. I have to explain myself to anything because maybe like, you know, I started like social media, putting my whole life on the internet, and like I always like, you know, explain my life to the people. So I think living in New York, like you say, I think I was like, is that okay to live here just because I want to live here? Like I should have something like job or like, you know, I mean, or something like to actually like I'm based like my so I can so relate it to that. Like I don't know if that's
so much
what
sense.
you
Yeah. I mean, like for example, like when people ask me why I learned Japanese, to be honest, like it's been over a decade now. Like I don't like the reasons change. You know, now I just like I speak it. You know what I mean? Like I love it, but it changes every day. But there was never like a reason. You know what I mean? But I've grown
you just genuinely loved it.
And
that was
like,
your passion.
After a while, you grow to explain, and now I'm like, oh, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
But is that true? No.
Exactly.
You know?
I constantly ask myself that like, this can be a reason like why I want to be here.
You don't need a reason.
We don't. We don't.
That's so true with anything like you do in life. You really don't need a reason.
You don't own
anything.
shit to the others. Like you don't really need to explain yourself like why you're doing this move or anything like this.
I love that.
But then like you know, people constantly asking like, what do you do, like what are you working on? I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like I'm just vibing out here. But that's honestly so real. I was just like, I think that's why that's the thoughts that I always constantly come to my mind.
If I guess, you know, it's been years since you moved to the States, years since you've been doing social media. Do you have any advice for your younger self? If you could talk to your younger self.
Younger self?
Yeah.
Honestly, you did everything good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I got nothing to say. And then like, thank you so much like for everything that you did because it brought me here.
Right.
And like I would do it again. And then I'm still so hungry. Like I want to like do a lot more. I have a dream. I'm a dreamer. So thank you for being a dreamer.
That was so good. Do you have what's like your dream coming up now?
I want to get into acting, like films.
Oh wow.
Yes, films a lot. And
even now in New York, like they're doing more film there than they are in LA now. So that's perfect.
No, I hope. I mean, not I hope like it will happen, but I just like need to find a way to get into it, especially in the States, because you know. But that's something that I'm really interested. I did a voiceover for the movie Wicked, Japanese version, and that was just like so crazy. Thank you so much.
That's insane.
It's so fun. Like I don't know. I think, you know, I'm sure like you can relate it to it. Like creating a content, like it can be very isolated. You know, like because you're the boss. Like, you know, you make the idea. Like sometimes like, you know, people have like full ass like team and everything. But, you know, I just like found it so amazing to work with the people on the one project. Like everybody brings like, you know, different perspective and like I get to learn and then like tell the story and like it's just the process of it. Like it's so fascinating to me. And then, like it's very like new challenging for me and I really want to keep doing it more for the next 10 years.
I'm so excited. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow. I mean, I totally get it. I love when, for me, last year, I was able to go to Anime Expo as MC. And so I interviewed like Yurian Retriever and like some other wonderful people. And I was just like, I never thought me moving to another country would get me a job in my own country. And then I, you know, doing acting and like these kinds of things. Like, this is so cool. Like, I would have never thought about doing this if it wasn't for content. But then at the same time, doing content's very isolating. So, like, I'm in my room and I'm like, what am I doing all day? Like, all I did was, like, film, like, 5 TikToks. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's hard, too, though.
That's hard, too. Yeah. So, like,
that's hard, too.
It's just, like, I don't know. I keep telling myself, like, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. It just needs to be you. Like, that's at the end of the day.
As long as, like, you can recognize that, like, what you've been through.
It's so hard.
Like, it's so hard, you know? It's really hard. But, I think, like, that'll turning to your own strength. But honestly, like I say, like I'm so impressed by like what you do, because I think in general, like it's really harder to like move to somewhere and then on top of the like work and the like, because it's completely different, like like work ethic, like language involved, like, everything. And like on top of the like what you do is like you work in like public. How do I say it?
Like in front of
in front of people,
right?
yes. And that's like more pleasure. So
right.
like
you can't make mistakes. Even
also like keigo and like the way you present it, like Japanese, like specifically, like it's very complicated.
So
and like for you to like navigate yourself into that, it's just like so wow.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, wow.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then like a lot of people like I'm like look up to you and like want to do the same.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You too. I mean, I just like the fact that you were like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm not thinking about it, I'm not hoping about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
It's all about mindset
So
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We need to trick our brain, and they're gonna do it. Yeah.
So true.
Yes.
Well, anyway, thank you so much. That was so inspiring.
No, thank そんなありがとうございます。
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
ありがとうございます。
Like I had such a pleasure time with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have any message or anything you want to share with the audience or any updates?
I don't know. Invest your money.
So you don't end up like us. Just kidding.
Yeah, invest your money. I keep spending it, so no, because all my friends in the States are like so shocked. They're like, "You only have a savings?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because investing, like as a Japanese, like investing, like we think it's a scam.
I know.
Yeah, we think it's a scam. Yes.
Invest, guys, please.
Invest your money.
I'll make an episode about investing. I used to work at an investing startup.
Oh my god! I just like realized like the way I talk about money, like I'm so capitalized right now. The influence. Oh my god.
It's fine. It's fine.
Whatever.
Each to their own. And I honestly feel like this is a very like spend it culture right
yeah,
now.
exactly.
This like era is like very like
be
like
smart
that.
about it.
No, so I get it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you
so
soon.
much. Check out his book as well.
ありがとうございます。そん
Just
な。
released it.
Thank you.
But yeah, with that, I'm just gonna close up real quick. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
This
for
was so
having me.
fun. And I learned so much, and I hope everyone else did as well. And thank you guys for listening to Tokyo Talks. If this conversation inspired you in any way, please share it with a friend, subscribe and follow so we can keep sharing more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.